Hi guys, Do with Dan here. I was out to dinner and I had a very random series of messages and taggings and my fucking Instagram and my Facebook and my YouTube, all that shit was kind of blowing up randomly about this video that's kind of going around right now, literally just uploaded. And normally I kind of try to reserve my comments for the actual video, like, hey, you know, fuck this guy or this, that, and the other. But I had such a massive request to do a video talking about this video like right out of the gate that I had to sit down and address it versus rather than trying to answer everyone's questions. First of all, I want to say that link to the actual video, like the full video, is in the description if you want to go check out the dude who uploaded it. Make sure you support his channel because he's the one he's the owner of the video and all that shit. Second of all, I am not the person in this video. I'm gonna go ahead and clarify that too. It's somebody else on YouTube. Yeah, I'm not trying to take your video or anything like that. I just had a lot of questions and I see a lot of people trashing this guy, so I kind of want to defend him, type of deal. From one biker to another, you know, one brother on two wheels to another brother on two wheels, type of deal. Because not a lot of people are defending this guy for whatever reason, and I'm gonna go into detail about what I think happened and why it happened and this, that, and the other, and talk about how this could have been prevented or how this individual could have handled it differently or just all that shit. So I'm just gonna kind of break this shit down because I had a lot of people request me to do this, like, instantly. And if you don't know who I am, I just do motorcycle videos, and people, I guess, and I guess because I have a decent following on YouTube of motorcycle people, people kind of ask for my opinion on shit like this from time to time, so I figured I would give it. So basically, what we have here is a gentleman on what appears to be a 2003 to 2005 Yamaha R6. I can tell this by looking at the gauge cluster. The video quality isn't super great, but looking at the gauge cluster, I can kind of get an idea of what bike this is. So it does look to be like a 2003 to 2005 Yamaha R6, based on the handlebars and the actual gauge cluster itself. The video starts out with the guy like basically running from this guy in a red car who's trying to knock him off the road for whatever reason. We're given no background, no detail on that. And I've done my research in this video so far, done a lot of reading, and I can't seem to find any reason why this guy was trying to run him off the road other than the fact that he's pissed. Now, I want to defend this guy and say, hey, you know, maybe just an incident of road rage where the biker did something kind of douchey and then the guy in the red car was pissed off about it and tried to run him off the road. We've seen that happen time and time again. But who knows? The dude on the bike could have like stolen something from him or like fucking punched his car for no reason. I don't know. There's so many different things that could have led to this event that we're not actually seen. We're not shown what happened prior to this. Now, because I don't know this, I'm going to go ahead and give the biker the benefit of the doubt that he didn't do anything super douchey. He obviously pissed this dude off in a red car enough to where he wanted to literally kill him. That's what happens in this video. This guy basically tries to kill this guy. So I'm going to start this video and kind of talk about what's going on. So right off the bat, dude's splitting lanes, trying to get away from this car who comes out of nowhere on the left side. And he's doing about 85, 90 miles an hour according to the speedometer. Not really sure if this guy has stock gearing or not. He doesn't appear to be going 80 to 90 miles an hour. The quality's not super sharp, so it's kind of hard to tell how fast they're actually going. And all right, I'm going to pause it right here and say, first of all, thank you, Florida, for providing us with yet another awesome road rage video. This is just 10 out of 10. Nothing but fucking road rage and meth houses in Florida at this point on YouTube. So, again, thank you, Florida. It comes out of nowhere around this car, passes him on, it doesn't appear to be a double yellow, but he shouldn't have passed him, and then tries to make him hit his car by swerving. Obviously, this dude is pissed off at the biker for whatever reason, and he is so mad to the point where he wants him to not only stop, but hit his car. That's fucking ridiculous. So the bike reacts in the best possible way and flips him off and drives away. Right, that should have been the end of it. Probably could have gotten away. We'll get into that in a second. I do want to back this up, and before we even get any further, I'll show this. The car swerves in front of the biker. The biker is forced to stop. In the front of his bike shakes like violently. It vibrates. This is caused by warped rotors in his front. You can tell that his front rotors are warped. I used to have this exact same issue on my F4i. My front rotors were warped so bad that it would shake really bad like that. So that's important for what happens later in the video. Right now, he's doing all right. It's like, fuck you, guy. Gotta get out of here. Totally acceptable. Right off the bat, I can kind of tell that this rider isn't experienced as much as other riders were. Simply by the way he's dodging traffic and he's decelerating. He's not being nearly as aggressive as he could have been. This turn was actually not bad. His front vibrates again, so you can tell that his brakes aren't keeping up. But dude, this fucking psychopath thankfully doesn't hit this dude by some source of magic, dude misses him by what appears to be less than 2 inches. The car is basically touching the bike at this point. And you know what? Good on you, Ronnie G, for not getting hit by this guy like right here, because you avoided that shit pretty well. This dude obviously doesn't care about you, and he's so mad to the point. Look at his old bald motherfucker. Like, he's so mad that he can't even focus on driving. He needs to get out of his car window and tell you why he's mad. We'll probably never know that. At this point, dude is driving in oncoming traffic for several reasons. I honestly think that this is not exactly a dumb move. I think this is actually pretty smart. And you're thinking to yourself, you know, Dan, why do you think it's fucking going into oncoming traffic? What are you, fucking gay? Really, the car almost forces him to go in oncoming traffic, you know, just with the way the cars were set up, the first 2 cars. He could have gotten back over. But this dude who's driving this aggressive, it shows he doesn't have the balls to drive in oncoming traffic like this dude on the bike does. He doesn't have the balls to do it. Now, he's fucking crazy enough to continue to chase a bike driving 60 miles an hour into oncoming traffic. He's that fucking crazy, don't get me wrong. But he doesn't seem to be ballsy enough to fucking hang with this guy in oncoming traffic. Alright. At this point, anybody on a normal R6 who's experienced enough to twist the throttle should have left this dude in the fucking dust. At this point, he could have downshifted and slammed gears and fucking left this Ford Fusion, which does 0 to 60 in eventually, in the fucking dust. I'm thinking one of 2 things. Now, in the comments, someone asks him if he's got torque gearing, and he says yes. But previously, he states that he's not a very experienced rider, which leads me to believe that he was just scared of the bike. You know, he's probably a relatively new biker, probably just bought this bike like a month ago at the most, and just isn't comfortable with it yet enough to fucking redline it from gear to gear. If you notice that he, even with wide open spaces, he doesn't get above 10,000 RPM at all throughout this entire video. He stays below 10,000 RPM. And I think that the R6's redline at like 16K or something just fucking bananas. So he's really not even tapping into the power of this bike. And I think that it's due to a few factors. One, that he's probably still scared of the bike. 2, you know, everyone reacts different based on adrenaline, anger, and fear and all that stuff. So everyone reacts different, you know. If it was me on my CBR 1000, I'd have ditched this guy quick. But that's also on a leader bike, and I'm confident enough to fucking dodge traffic, you know. Like, I know for a fact that I'm going to be able to outrun this guy, and I'm not necessarily afraid of my motorcycle. And I've been riding for a good chunk of years. As a younger gentleman of 22 years of age, I've spent, I think now, about 7 years like riding motorcycles consecutively. So I at least know how to twist a throttle and clutch and shit like that, you know, confidently. Like I said, most somewhat experienced bikers probably would have left this dude the fucking dust at this point. Now, what I think would have been best for him at this point, as he's driving into oncoming traffic, that car is too busy going around him, and he should have taken this turn with the white Tacoma and the blue car. Now, he should have taken that turn, because he could have taken that turn, dipped down like a neighborhood road, and lost this guy pretty quick if he knew what he was fucking doing. But I think 2 things happened here. One, he's not, like I said, he's not that experienced. I don't think he's very experienced, so he wasn't confident enough to make that turn. And 2, this bringing back the brakes. I don't think his brakes could have handled that turn. All the regular motorcycles with working brakes should have been able to handle that turn. But because of his warped rotors, I don't think he would have been able to slow down in enough time. And that's why I'm bringing back up the rotors. It's important to realize that that's probably why he didn't take that sharp turn right there. Because I think that you or I or anybody else that rides probably been doing it for a while, could have probably made that turn no problem. He had plenty of time to slow down. He was only doing like 30 when he did it. But instead, this guy decides to miss a van by about 6 inches and continue to haul ass down oncoming traffic. And again, clear as fuck, should have been able to lose this guy no problem. He could have literally rid on sidewalks or taken any one of these turns coming up. This car would have not been able to turn around in time, and that would have been it. Now, he continues to cruise and haul ass and shit like that, and he's very hesitant at this point to get on the throttle. You can tell. His bike is still staying under like 8K RPM. And dude, that power band on those R6s really fucking open up after 10K. They really do. And he could have literally been banging gears and disappearing quick. But I feel like he's certainly not confident enough in the bike. Either that, dude, or the bike is just not running right. There's no way that if he was full throttling it, that bike is probably not running right. But then he starts to kind of slow down, dude. He's cruising at 107. My mom's Altima can do 107, and that's how this guy fucking catches up to him. I'm not saying that the best course of action is to do 160 down the road, but guess who's not going to catch you at 160? The Ford fucking Fusion. At 100 miles an hour, This batshit bald motherfucker comes up next to him and starts swatting at him, like, out of his window. What the fuck? I'm just going to pause right here and focus on this dude's speedometer so you can understand what I'm saying. He is not even cruising at, he's cruising at about 10,000 RPM right now at 111 miles an hour. He still has 6,000 more RPM to go and maybe even another gear. This guy is definitely not juicing this bike. And if he had juiced this bike, this guy would have been gone, right? 130, he's getting up there. This bike still has way more potential than he's acting. Unless this dude's gearing is like +4 in the back, he should have left this guy in the dust. He might just have low gearing, and really the bike's only doing 90 miles an hour, because once you throw on a new big sprocket in the rear, your speed is thrown off. Like, your speedometer won't read right. So he could have aftermarket gearing. Maybe he does. But the way he's been accelerating from dead stops doesn't match up, because if he was juicing it from a dead stop, he should be pulling power wheelies and stuff. Now, this dude's hanging out his window. Another reason I'm bringing this video to my channel is specifically so we can catch whoever this fucking piece of shit is. Because at no point should this guy be chasing down a biker like this and then recording him with a cell phone. Like, what are you going through your mind? Get a fucking job or something, dude. And then he proceeds to try to hit him again on his own cell phone video. And this guy spits at him. Like, fucking what are you doing? Like, you can tell that this guy's made all the right decisions in his life. What I do want to talk about, and good on you, Ronnie G, for how calm you remained throughout the course of this video. I absolutely love it. Because you can hear him talking. It sounds like through a Cena headset, maybe a backpack. And the fucking commentary, the 4 words that he says during this video are hilariously calm. Man, fuck this guy. Fucking dickhead. Like what the fuck is going on? But I love it. So that's good on you for staying as calm as you did. But I'm going to back it up to a point right here. At this point, he's hanging out of his window with a cell phone, swerving into your lane, trying to hit him with his car. When he swerves again for that second time, assuming that I couldn't get away from this guy, I certainly wouldn't have let this go on as long as this guy did. But right here is one of the reasons why I carry on my motorcycle. I feel like at this point, you'd be completely justified in shooting this guy right in the face. I feel 100% like you'd be justified. And I know Georgia has a stand your ground law, and I'm pretty sure Florida does too. I probably would have pulled out my gun and shot this dude in the fucking face and felt nothing about it. And what's awesome is that this video shows exactly the type of person this guy is. He's following him at 130 miles an hour to try to run him off the road. Like, dude, it's ridiculous, man. That's why I always carry when I ride. And I thankfully have never had an issue like this. And I honestly believe that was probably an avoidable scenario. Like, yeah, probably avoidable scenario. Like, duh. But I feel like maybe that this rider got kind of put in a situation he couldn't just escape from. Like, he couldn't just run out of this situation because he wasn't skilled enough to, or, you know, maybe his bike wasn't running good enough, you know, type of deal. And if I'm ever put in a scenario where my bike is not going to run out the person pursuing me to end my life, I'm going to end theirs. I'm not trying to sound hard. I'm not trying to sound like a fucking operator as fuck internet dude. I'm not trying to sound like a gangster. I'm really not. But if you start doing this shit to me, I'm not going to put up with it. I'm just going to shoot you. Plain and simple. Don't try to end my life and run me off the road. Matter of fact, I'm going to back it up to the point where I think it'd been completely justified to shoot him. Yeah, probably right there. And right there. Yeah, at that point, probably would have popped off shots. Yeah, definitely right there. Definitely right there. And the reason I'm saying these is just because I know I could have had clear shots. It takes maybe 2 seconds off the throttle, accelerate, clutch in, pull out, shoot, close. It'd be relatively quick if you knew what you're doing. But like I said, this rider doesn't seem competent enough to escape a guy in a Ford Fusion, let alone pull out a gun and shoot someone while riding. I'm just saying, like, nothing against you, Ronnie G. You even stated in your comments that you're not a skilled rider, and I don't mean to keep beating you over the head with this. It just kind of shows you the importance that that riding can be life or death, and not just because you might make the wrong turn or, you know, some shit like that. Like, someone could literally be gunning for your life in their fucking red Ford Fusion or Fiesta or whatever this car is. At the end of this video, dude gets away safe and sound. No one gets hurt except for a little bit of pride, it seems like. This dude's like, I'd be terrified as fuck to get back on my bike as someone who was a relatively new rider, after having something like that happen to me, I'd be fucking scared. But this dude seemed to handle it pretty well. So good on you, Ronnie G. Congratulations for not dying. I just love it how he's just like crazy, bro. Like, this is just Florida, man. Like, don't like, you're so used to this shit because Florida. I mean, like, look at this guy's face. He looks like he purposely drops the soap in prison when he goes, because he's been to prison before. There's no doubt in my mind. Now, I've done my best to screenshot some photos right here. Here's his face, and here's his license plate, and here's his car. Cue ball, skinhead, piece of shit, whatever. So let's share this one a little bit around so we can hopefully get this piece of shit in prison. Now, it does say that there's been a police report filed right here. You know, a really good part of me, a really big part of me is like, you know, I'm glad that this didn't end with anybody dying. You know, like, type of deal. Like, I'm glad that no one got hurt. No one died. This piece of shit went on his way. This dude on a bike went on his way. No one got hurt. There's a small part of me that kind of wishes that the biker had been carrying, and this would have kind of served as a lesson to people who freak out over bikers or just road rage in general, dude. Like, it's not worth it to lose your life over something so trivial and stupid because you have butthurt issues and daddy didn't hug you enough. And that goes both ways, dude. Bikers get it too. I'm not trying to justify every biker that's ever been on a fucking YouTube video of him road raging. Like, dude, it's just not worth it to lose your life over or end someone else's. It's just not. Okay, he cut you off, or maybe he lane split, or maybe he didn't make the right decision. Flip him off, tell him, fuck you. This makes me feel so mad. Like, so that's just kind of my 2 cents on this whole matter. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and make sure to please go check out the individual who recorded this video and give him your support. I see a lot of people being negative to this guy because he's a new rider or he didn't handle this situation appropriately. We have to remember, dude, we're all on 2 wheels here. At the end of the day, we need to support each other. So thank you guys for watching, and if you liked it, subscribe. If you didn't, you know, fuck off.